please subscribe and get new stories every day. In a land far removed from the bustling chaos of modern cities, where the air was pure and the sky an endless canvas of blues and whites, lay the whispering forest. This forest, unlike any other, was known for its unparalleled tranquility. It was said that those who wandered into its embrace found themselves enveloped in a serenity so profound it felt like the forest itself was whispering secrets of peace into their souls. The whispering forest was a haven for those seeking solace. Its towering trees, ancient and wise, stood as guardians of silence, their leaves rustling softly in the wind, creating a symphony of calm. The forest floor, a soft carpet of moss and fallen leaves, muffled footsteps, allowing visitors to move quietly, almost as if floating through a dream. One such visitor was Ilara, a woman who had long been plagued by the unrest of the world outside. She had heard tales of the forest's calming power and had come seeking respite from the noise that had become a constant in her life. With each step she took deeper into the forest, she felt the weight of her worries begin to lift. Ilara walked for hours, her mind gradually quieting, her breath slowing to match the gentle rhythm of the forest. She came upon a clearing, bathed in the soft glow of the afternoon sun. In the center stood a majestic oak tree, its branches spreading wide like welcoming arms. She felt an inexplicable pull towards it and settled herself at its base, leaning against its sturdy trunk. As she closed her eyes, she became acutely aware of the sounds around her. The gentle rustling of leaves, the distant call of a bird, the soft babbling of a nearby brook, all blended into a harmonious lullaby. She felt the forest's whispers, not in words but in sensations that washed over her, bringing a deep sense of peace. Days turned into weeks as Ilara stayed in the forest. She built a small shelter from branches and leaves, a humble abode that blended seamlessly with the surroundings. Her life became one of simplicity and presence. She woke with the sun, moved with the rhythms of the forest, and slept under a blanket of stars. The forest became her sanctuary, a place where she could be still and listen. One evening, as she sat by the brook, watching the water flow gently over the rocks, she met an old man named Rowan. He was a wanderer like her, but with a deeper connection to the forest. His eyes held the wisdom of many years, and his presence exuded a calmness that seemed to amplify the tranquility of the surroundings. Rowan shared stories of the forest, of how it had been a place of refuge for countless souls over the centuries. He spoke of the ancient trees that had stood for millennia, witnessing the ebb and flow of life, their roots intertwined with the very essence of the earth. He told her about the animals, the true keepers of the forest's secrets, who lived in harmony with the land. Through Rowan, Ilara learned to see the forest not just as a place, but as a living, breathing entity. She began to understand the subtle language of the trees, the way they communicated with each other and with her. She discovered the healing properties of the plants and the wisdom carried by the winds. The forest, in its quiet way, was teaching her to let go, to be present, to find peace within herself. One day, as Ilara and Rowan sat beneath the great oak tree, he handed her a small, intricately carved wooden flute. "Play," he said simply. Ilara hesitated, feeling unworthy of such a gift, but Rowan's gentle encouragement gave her the courage to try. She placed the flute to her lips and began to play. The notes were soft and tentative at first, but as she continued, they grew stronger, more confident. The music seemed to merge with the whispers of the forest, creating a melody that was both haunting and beautiful. It flowed through the trees, across the brook, and into the heart. The whispering forest remained a sanctuary of peace, a place where the clamor of the outside world could not penetrate. And Ilara, with her flute and her deep connection to the forest, continued to be its guardian, sharing its secrets of calmness with all who came. In the heart of the whispering forest, where the ancient oak tree stood, Ilara found not just peace, but purpose. She realized that the calmness she had discovered was not just for her, but for everyone. It was a gift from the forest, a reminder that amidst the noise and chaos of life, there existed a place of profound serenity, waiting to be found. And so the whispers of the forest continued, a timeless melody of calmness echoing through the trees, across the brook, and into the hearts of all who listened. As the seasons turned, the whispering forest revealed its many moods to Ilara. In the spring, the forest came alive with new growth, the trees adorned with fresh leaves, and the air filled with the scent of blooming flowers. The brook, swollen with melting snow, sang a more vibrant tune, its waters crystal clear. Birds returned from their migrations, filling the canopy with song, their melodies interweaving with the whispers of the forest. Ilara found joy in the renewal of life around her. She spent her days exploring, discovering hidden groves and secret glades, each with its own unique charm. She became attuned to the subtle changes in the forest, noticing the first buds on the branches, the appearance of delicate wildflowers, and the busy activity of animals preparing for the warmer months. Her flute, ever her companion, mirrored the forest's awakening, its notes bright and lively, echoing the exuberance of spring. Summer brought a different kind of calm to the forest. The days grew long and warm, the sunlight filtering through the dense canopy, creating dappled patterns on the forest floor. The brook's song softened as its flow slowed, becoming a gentle murmur. The forest, now in full bloom, exuded a sense of abundance and contentment. Ilara felt a deep connection to the earth, her feet bare against the soft moss, her skin warmed by the sun. During these months, she often ventured to the edges of the forest, where it met the open meadows and rolling hills. Here she found a different kind of beauty, a vastness that contrasted with the intimate embrace of the trees. She would sit for hours, watching the grasses sway in the breeze, the butterflies dance from flower to flower, and the distant clouds drift lazily across the sky. Her music took on a languid quality, the notes flowing smoothly, capturing the essence of summer's tranquility. Autumn arrived with a burst of color. The forest transformed into a tapestry of reds, oranges, and golds, the leaves rustling like whispers of farewell as they fell to the ground. The air grew crisp, carrying the scent of earth and fallen leaves. The brook, fed by autumn rains, regained some of its earlier vigor, its song now tinged with a hint of melancholy. Ilara found herself reflecting on the cycles of life, the ebb and flow of seasons, the constant change that was both beautiful and inevitable. Her flute, now seasoned with the experiences of spring and summer, produced rich, warm tones. Ilara embraced the stillness, finding solace in the quiet and the cold. She marveled at the way the forest seemed to sleep, conserving its energy for the spring to come. Her flute, now almost a part of her, produced clear, pure tones that matched the crispness of the winter air. She played softly, her music a gentle counterpoint to the profound silence around her. Throughout the year, Ilara's bond with the forest deepened. She learned to read the signs of nature, to understand the language of the animals and the trees. She became more attuned to the cycles of life, finding beauty in each season's unique expression of calmness. The forest had become a part of her, and she a part of it. Word of Ilara and the whispering forest spread beyond the borders of the land. People from distant places, weary from the struggles of their own lives, made the journey to the forest in search of the calmness they had heard about. They arrived with heavy hearts and troubled minds, seeking the peace that Ilara had found. Ilara welcomed them with open arms, guiding them through the forest, sharing its secrets and its whispers. She played her flute for them, her music a balm for their souls. She taught them to listen to the forest, to find stillness within themselves, and to embrace the tranquility that the forest offered. One by one, they left transformed, carrying with them a piece of the forest's calmness. Years turned into decades, and Ilara grew older. The forest, ever faithful, remained her sanctuary. She continued to play her flute, her music now infused with the wisdom of many seasons. She watched as the forest's cycles repeated, each year bringing new life, new challenges, and new beauty. She felt a profound sense of fulfillment, knowing that she had found her place in the world and that she had helped others find theirs. In her later years, Alara met a young girl named Arya, who had come to the forest seeking solace. Arya reminded Alara of herself when she first arrived, full of turmoil and seeking peace. Alara took Arya under her wing, teaching her the ways of the forest and the language of the trees. She gave Arya her flute, passing on the gift of music and the legacy of the forest's musician. Arya, with Ilara's guidance, found her own connection to the forest. She discovered her own melodies, her music a new voice in the timeless song of the whispering forest. Ilara watched with pride as Arya grew into her role, knowing that the forest's legacy of calmness would continue through her. As Ilara's time in the forest drew to a close, she felt a deep sense of peace. She had lived a life filled with beauty and tranquility, a life in harmony with the natural world. She knew that the forest would continue to be a sanctuary for those who needed it, a place where calmness reigned and whispers of peace could be heard. In her final moments, Ilara lay beneath the great oak tree, her body nestled against its sturdy trunk. She closed her eyes, listening to the familiar whispers of the forest. She felt the presence of the trees, the brook, the animals, and the very essence of the land surrounding her. She felt the calmness that had become a part of her soul. With a final contented sigh, Ilara's spirit became one with the whispering forest. Her essence joined the whispers, her music blending with the symphony of nature. She had found her eternal peace, her place of calmness, in the heart of the forest she loved. And so, the whispering forest continued to be a place of refuge, its ancient trees standing tall, its brooks singing softly, its animals living in harmony. The legacy of Ilara and her music lived on, a testament to the power of calmness and the beauty of a life lived in tune with nature. The forest whispered its secrets to all who came, sharing its message of peace, serenity, and eternal calm.